If you think the new AI boom is just about software and chips, think again, because the real gold rush might be in the energy behind it. As data centers explode and electricity demand surges, a handful of energy companies are quietly positioning themselves to ride the wave and potentially deliver 10x returns. So in this video, we'll break down 3 power players turning today's AI boom into tomorrow's investment opportunity. And one of these companies just landed a $16 billion deal with Microsoft, which is likely to lead to more revenue in the future, but more on that here in a minute. So let's start with a stock that's perfectly positioned for the future, which is NextEra Energy. This isn't just a boring utility. NextEra Energy is leading in both clean energy and the AI revolution. Data centers and AI apps are hungry, and by 2028, they could be using up to 12% of all US electricity. That's a huge opportunity for companies making the grid smarter and greener. NextEra is investing a massive $74 billion through 2029 to handle this surge and help power big tech's data demands. Now, unlike most power companies, they're rolling out AI-powered energy tools so businesses can save big, some even up to $700,000 a year, and run more efficiently.
That's $74 billion? It's one of the largest utility projects in North America. That's more than the GDP of some countries.
Yes, TR, thank you. And it's an insanely large project here that should be super profitable in the future. And if you're looking for results, their stock has delivered about a 12% annual company growth rate since 2020, and analysts see even more of that upside ahead. So NextEra lets you ride the wave of AI and sustainability without choosing just one. Now up next, we'll check out a company that's changing the game with reliable, always-on nuclear energy for the AI era, which many have said is really the only way to properly handle the demand. So let's talk about Constellation Energy. Right? The company quietly is transforming the energy game with nuclear power. So when it comes to powering data centers and AI, reliability is everything. Solar and wind, they are awesome, but they don't run around the clock like nuclear does. And by the way, before we move on, if you find this video helpful, do me a favor and subscribe so that I can create many more just like it to give you some investing ideas before the folks on Wall Street pile into the investments.
Subscribe.
Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty.
But anyway, Constellation Energy Company is landing huge multi-billion-dollar deals, including a $16 billion agreement with Microsoft and another long-term contract with Meta to supply nonstop nuclear energy. Why? Because these tech giants, they can't afford any downtime for their servers. They need 24/7 power, and CEG delivers. Their 2025 revenues hit $6.1 billion, with earnings jumping over 13% recently as well. And that's no fluke. Their stock has skyrocketed 43% in just 3 months as investors catch on. Now, if you believe that AI will drive the need for super reliable energy, which is what nuclear is all about, CEG's nuclear power makes them uniquely poised to benefit. Now, up next, let's dive into a company riding the natural gas wave, which is another essential piece of the AI puzzle. All right, now let's pull back the curtain on Targa Resources. This is the company that's powering America's digital future with natural gas. Now, as AI and tech giants demand more energy, it's not just electricity that matters. Data centers are turning to natural gas for backup power and reliability, especially when the grid gets overloaded. Now, Targa's got a massive foothold in the heart of natural gas production, building out over 2 billion cubic feet per day of new processing capacity in the Permian Basin. That's nearly 40% of all new capacity being built in the region. And their financial results are rolling in too, so 2025 saw an 18% jump in adjusted EBITDA, and they're guiding for up to $4.85 billion next year. So as AI data centers pop up across the country, Targa's infrastructure is the backbone getting gas where it's needed fast. And with plans to return nearly half their cash flow to shareholders, investors stand to benefit big time if this growth keeps up. So where does this leave you as an investor? Well, let's get into that here next. Okay, so each of these stocks, right, NextEra Energy, Constellation Energy, and Targa Resources, they cover a different part of the energy story powering our tech-driven world. NextEra taps into the green and digital revolution. Constellation Energy anchors the grid with always-on nuclear. And Targa's natural gas really keeps everything humming behind the scenes. So instead of betting on just one tech or energy trend, owning a mix of these means you're covered whether electricity demand surges, nuclear grabs more market share, or natural gas becomes even more critical for backup power. So if you're thinking of making a move, just remember, Do your own due diligence before diving in, and make sure that your picks fit your own goals and risk tolerance. Now, that all said, I recently asked AI to give me an opinion on how well it expects Tesla to do in the future, and it gave me some absolutely insane projections. So click right up here to see what I mean, and by doing so, maybe you'll better understand why so many investors are shoveling their money into the company before things get crazy.